Poor little Boujee. He really wants to sit on my lap.
Now we're better.
He just wants to hang out with us. Boujee wants to chill. Hey, Boujee, speak. No, you can't crawl across the whole table. You speak? Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you. Say speak. Oh. I don't think he wants to be a guest star.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, I was going to get lotion on my hands.
Oh, man.
My hands always feel like naked without lotion.
Yeah, mine are just always just not soft.
I think it's as much of a mental thing to me than it is like...
I don't really like having lotion on. Because then I can't write because I can't hold a pen in my hand. And my fingers slide all over the keyboard. And I feel like I have to just constantly rub them until I can't feel it anymore.
Yeah.
You have a little different situation.
Yeah, well, because I have the skin condition. I don't think I've ever told anybody about this on the podcast.
I was like, I think you've told people about it.
I'm pretty sure I've told
just
everybody.
Not the world.
Usually that's like the first thing I do when I go to get like a massage or a pedicure or something is I like explain my skin to them so they aren't totally freaked out.
Okay.
So it's called palmoplantar keratitis for all those who are listening.
Maybe say it again.
Maybe I will because he just barked through the middle of it. It's called I can't say it. Palmoplantar keratitis. So it's just extra dermal layers on your palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. It can also affect like your elbows and knees. And in more severe cases, there's like 140 some odd different distinctions of it.
Whoa.
Based on like what chromosomes are affected. And so there are crazy things linked to it like heart conditions and all kinds of stuff. Blindness, hearing loss.
I didn't know all this. I'm learning something new today.
We have like, obviously our family has like a very, very mild form of it compared to others. It's just on our palms. It's nothing crazy. So.
Do you have some scissors? Yeah, any old scissors will do.
Do you want an X-Acto knife?
No, it's all right.
No whining. He's going to be a real whiner.
He wants to whine.
I know. And if I put him outside, I think he's just going to scratch at the door and whine.
Is Adam umping again tonight?
He's not umping tonight. He actually was going to the gym. So he'll be home at some point, and Boujee will be happy to go be with him. Okay, I'm back. That was exhausting.
Sorry.
I'm going to drink some beverages.
Tell him about the beverage you're drinking.
Yeah, so first, were we talking about something else?
Possibly.
Dear husband is home, so Boujee is going to go play with him since he was being really needy in here. So I had the great idea because I am loving these LaCroix sparkling waters with all the different flavors. And so I thought, ooh, instead of like mixing like vodka and Coke or something, I would mix vodka with one of these sparkling waters and it would be refreshing and delicious. Even though I really, really liked the Moscow Mule. Ginger beer is a lot of calories.
That's true.
So then you're just having like sugar and calories from soda plus vodka calories.
True story.
Yeah. So the first one I mixed up was a new flavor that I got, which was blackberry and cucumber. And I thought it was going to be delicious. And I put some mint in it. And as Jessie can attest, every time I took a drink of it, I got a weird look on my face.
She made a funny face.
I felt like my eye was like involuntarily like scrunching.
Oh, that happens when I don't like something.
Yeah.
Or like when something's sour.
Yeah. I don't know. It was okay as I was drinking it, but then like the aftertaste was really weird.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let's try it with one of the flavors of sparkling water that I know I like, which is the peach pear. And so I just mixed one up and I took a hunk of fresh ginger and popped it in there because peach and ginger go good together.
Yeah.
And then I also ran out into my garden and got a sprig of rosemary.
She's not messing around.
Because ginger and rosemary go good together. I also have had a drink, that hipster bar, Argus, downtown.
Oh, okay.
They have some drink, I don't remember what it's called now. Maybe like the Art Garfunkel?
They have very weird names.
They have weird names. But there's one that has rosemary in it, and it was really good. So I thought, what the heck?
Yeah.
And this one's actually quite delicious. So
nailed it.
There's our drink recipe for the night. Peach pear, sparkling water, a shot of vodka, and some rosemary and ginger.
Or if you're on TB meds, you just, you're dripping.
I see that.
If you're on TB medication, then you just get peach pear.
Which is not too bad.
I mean, it's good.
It's pretty yummy. Yeah, the first one I mixed was also a double, and that might be affecting. But I really think it's the cucumber. I love cucumbers, but I can't handle, like the cucumber Gatorade.
I liked it for a minute, and then I didn't.
I wanted to like it, or I thought I was going to like it, but I think it does the same thing. It makes my face squishy.
We just can't have that.
Well, and the great thing is dear husband hates cucumbers, like refuses to eat them in anything.
Really?
But all he'll drink is that freaking cucumber Gatorade.
Oh.
And I'm just like, I don't understand what's happening.
That's weird.
So weird. Because
it tastes a lot like cucumber.
It does. And I really don't feel like cucumber's texture...
It would be a problem.
I mean, I get that it's a little slimy around the seeds, but he eats like zucchini and stuff. Which, same difference, right?
Yeah.
Or pickles? Those are slimy.
Maybe he's just a weird guy.
I think he's just a weird guy.
And that's okay.
So I am curious. Oh, I see what you're doing. So we're working on, a couple of projects tonight, actually.
Yeah, because I got crazy.
Jesse got inspired and excited. Basically, we went to switch out felt shapes on our seasonal frames. I was taking all my Easter stuff down, and when I had gone and picked up my Easter egg shape, I had also picked up a flower that I wasn't in love with, but I thought, well, maybe I can dress it up a bit. But
yeah,
I put it up there, and I was just like, no.
It's not us.
It's definitely not me. I'm not a flowery flower kind of person. I mean, I have flowers tattooed on my body, and I wear a lot of, like, rose-shaped earrings, but I
think roses are different.
Roses are different than, like, flowery flowers.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I think it doesn't help that they're, like, pastel-y colors.
Yeah, which neither of us are, like, the biggest fans of decorating with.
And they're like those little roundy, like, it's like a little girl flower.
Yeah, like a bloomy, I don't know. It's like a flower you draw when you're a kid.
Yeah. If it was like a pretty flower, I might feel different about it.
Right. I really wouldn't have minded a tulip. I like tulips.
Yeah.
But it just looks like chintzy.
Yeah.
So
we gotta make our own. And
I'm just not into decorating with, like, big, fluffy flowers in my house. I'm the only girl here. I live with all boys, so even, like, my bedroom stuff, I've never been, like, flowery. I've always had, like, filigree or, like, brocade, different designs, not flowers.
Yeah, mine just kind of, my feelings just kind of depend on the flower.
So we were trying to think, well, until really, like, Memorial Day or 4th of July.
Yeah, there's not a lot coming up.
There's not a lot, like, holiday-wise, and season-wise, we're in spring, so I couldn't really come up with any image that I thought would be great. But then I thought, baseball's a season.
And it's my favorite one.
That's right. I knew you'd have like-mindedness, so...
It's a little bummer when your team's not
doing so hot.
Not doing their best ever, but you know what?
They're not doing the greatest.
You know, sometimes you just need to know that you can't always be perfect.
No. And I love them anyways. And every time the Giants are not doing well, some smart ass has to tell me, like, oh, what do you think about your Giants now that they're not winning?
We can't win every year. We just can't. It's not fair.
Well, my go-to response is, like, you still love your mother when she's a bitch?
I like that.
Which might be a little harsh, but honestly, whose mother hasn't been a bitch at some point? And you still love them.
Yeah.
So, like, ride or die, the Giants are my team.
Yeah.
And excuse me, but it's not like they were always winning World Series.
I know. We didn't just start being fans like a couple years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I went to my first game, when I was 8. It was Will Clark, Barry Bonds era. And while, they were great players, the team didn't do very well for many years. So I'm not going to just, skip out because they're not winning.
Yeah.
Even when they're losing, I love just listening to the sound. I was working on my computer yesterday, and I just had the game on in the background, and I just like listening to the sound of it. It's rhythmic and soothing, and it's just great.
Totally.
And then, of course, dear husband comes home and turned the game off because he was upset because they were losing.
I know Adam has a hard time with that.
He does. He actually is way, way better about it now because when we were first dating, there were times where I, legit thought he was mad at me, and it was like the 49ers lost. I'm like, dude, come on. We can't have this ruling our lives. Yeah, so we're going to do some
I'm going to let you do this, too, but my Cricket's deciding to, download something.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to make a prototype, and then...
I like it. Jesse's just going to craft away. She's just going to make mine for me.
Yeah, I could do that,
She's going to craft. I'm going to drink.
Well, I'm the glues. You're the booze.
For the time being, anyways. I wonder if Adam wants to drink this one. He likes that cucumber flavor. I'll set it away. It's over here.
Here, Adam, get drunk. Yeah,
Are you kidding?
Totally
He's 6'5". 2 shots isn't going to get him drunk.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
So the plan for tonight is Giants baseball theme felt cutouts to put on our seasonal frames. And then Jesse made these super cute Easter egg washi tape things, which I actually think I pinned on Pinterest.
Yeah, that might have been where I saw it.
Or it was based off of something you'd pinned or something.
Yeah.
So they're on our crafts to-do list. So we are going to make those.
And I freaking love how my Easter egg one turned out. Love it.
So cute and so simple.
I know. So I'm like, I need to do more of these.
So we're doing a Giants theme one tonight. And Jesse went and bought these super cute washi tapes. And they're chevrons and polka dots, which are the best things.
Yeah.
And
just some crosshatch.
Yeah, it looks great.
They are technically coral.
They don't look coral.
And you know what I said? This looks like it could be orange.
Well, I think that it's so close. I mean, it might not be Giants orange, but it's orange enough that when it's inside of a Giants logo, no one's going to question it.
That's true. I hope not.
I also think that if I was choosing, if I had a coral project and I was going to choose them, I don't think those are coral enough. I would be like, these are too orange.
Yeah.
I mean, they're maybe more of a tangerine. Oh
my gosh, how cute! Isn't it funny, you look at it and you're like, oh, okay, just some, tape, and then you put the, thing around it, and it just makes it better.
It's adorable. I love it. So cute.
I need some, craft spray, maybe.
Okay, I'll go grab some.
Do you have some?
I have some. Some adhesive spray?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got this Scotch spray mount repositional adhesive, I mean, repositional's a loose term. You can peel it back off, but it might not be the greatest thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now, wherever you spray this is going to be sticky around
forever.
It, so I was thinking I'll do it over here.
Oh, okay.
And this guy too?
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's spray it up. Scotch, sponsor us.
Well, I always need spray glue. It's one of my favorite things.
It is the best. It takes the craziness out of life.
Yeah, you don't have to use stupid.
Well, you're trying
glue
to
sticks and crap.
Yeah, and then they bubble up, or you're trying to get it onto the tiniest spaces and stuff. It's ridiculous. I don't know how I lived without this stuff before.
I think the first time I used it, I'm like, ah, holy majoli.
Oh, you can use this on your Cricut mats to make them sticky enough to do stuff again.
Oh, that's so smart.
I've done that before. Scotch, spray mount, repositional adhesive.
So many uses.
So great. Worry-free. Hassle-free. We'll say other things if you pay us.
I'll say whatever you like.
Good to go.
Buttes.
What size is that?
8
Did
by
you
10.
make it 8 by 10?
What size do you want?
Oh, 8 by 10. That's perfect.
Okay.
I probably have several frames already, so this is the cutest project ever. Seriously, cannot even taste the vodka in that.
Ooh, buddy, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, this is a tall glass, but think of how hydrated I'm getting while I'm drinking.
So hydrated.
I'm probably not going to get drunk.
Why?
Because of all the hydration.
Or it just won't have a hangover.
That would be lovely.
So peachy and hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like actually a real fan of this.
I know. Next time I'm going to make yours fancy in a glass with rosemary and ginger. Because I just gave Jessie a can. Like, here, drink this.
It's because Tab's so bougie and she knows I'm not bougie. So she's like, I'm just going to give Jessie a can because she is not bad and bougie like me.
Because if I brought you a glass with grated ginger and rosemary in it, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Like, you're so bougie.
I'm constantly getting accused of being bougie.
I don't know why I'm convinced Tab's bougie.
I'm
guys.
just trying to class up our lives, Jessie.
And really, if you met her, you'd be like, why does Jessie think she's bougie? She's so far from bougie.
I'm literally covered in tattoos.
Maybe I just like saying bougie.
I probably. You just want to throw it out whenever you can. Oh my goodness.
I think I'm going to put the Bad and Bougie song in this.
Bad and bougie song.
Have you heard the Bad and Bougie song?
Wait, say it again?
Bad and Bougie.
Oh, bad and bougie. I thought you were saying bad in bougie.
Oh, no.
And I was like, nowhere in bougie does it spell bad. You know, like I put the fun and dysfunctional.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't making sense.
No, I can tell why you would.
I think you can do like 10 seconds. Fair use. We talked about bad and bougie. I've never even heard it. Maybe if I heard it, I would know it.
It just goes, Bad and Bougie.
Just like that.
That was a spot-on impression, so...
And who sings this?
I don't know, some rapper guy?
Is it 2 Chainz?
I have no idea, to be totally
You would
honest.
know if it was 2 Chainz because he would yell out,
2 Chainz! That's true.
Yeah. So as far as bougie people go, at the moment I have... Oh, I'm like, why is my chapstick sticking to the table? Because I said it. My phone is also sticking to the table. I set it right in the adhesive. Yeah. I currently have greenish hair, which I was going for like...
It's really not like...
mermaid.
Green.
No. It's like well, this color is called sea glass.
Well, and it's faded a lot.
It has. But I wanted to have like mermaidy hair. Mermaidy hair. Do you know what Jackson told me this weekend?
What?
He told me that it was the color of like, and I quote, something that crawled out of a swamp? Or that came from a swamp? Or something. Like, and I just was like, did you just tell me I have swamp thing colored hair? And he's like, well, it's nice. Like, Jackson.
I don't know if nice is the word I would use.
Right. I'm like, well, I was really going for more of like a ocean mermaidy thing. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, Jackson, we just had a talk a couple weeks ago about how you're not supposed to say these things out loud.
Not supposed to say how you feel.
You're not supposed to tell women things like swamp thing colored hair.
Well, but see, also, though, Jackson is really into, like, sciencey things and stuff. Maybe
True.
That's a compliment.
He's like, your hair reminds me of this specific sea anemone.
That would be great. And then it would totally be a compliment.
You know the algae that grows? Yeah. No, we literally, maybe 2 weeks ago in the car, had a whole conversation with the boys. We were, like, driving home from my parents' house, and we were telling the boys how when women ask you things, like, it's always good to be honest, but sometimes you don't have to be too honest.
Yeah, there's a line.
Right. So if a girl says, do these jeans look my ass look fat? You say, no, honey, I love your butt. Exactly. It looks great.
Or, like, even say, I like your big booty.
Yeah, you might get in trouble even there. You know, you have to be careful. Like, we were trying to explain how to, like, have tact.
Okay.
And also that...
This is like a big lesson for a little man.
Right. But it's a good one to learn now.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, getting slapped. Right?
That's very true.
Well, and I mean, and it was one of those things, too, where we were just like, if your girlfriend says, do you think that girl's prettier than me?
Oh.
You just say no. Like, you don't look at her first. You just go, no. You don't try to give, like, the unbiased, like, well, let me check her out. And then, no, definitely you're prettier, because the fact that you even looked is going to get you in trouble, right?
Yep.
You just go, no.
Also, you should really consider this girl you're dating that makes you compare her to other women.
Yeah, let's not. For sure. You don't want to find, like, a needy, insecure person to be with.
All girls are going to be insecure at times.
At some point, you're going to be like...
But if they're asking you that about every girl,
right,
maybe just make sure that that's the relationship you need to be in.
Right. That's also a heavy lesson for 8 and 10-year-olds.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm like, Jackson, do you remember this conversation? The best thing would have probably just have been like, it's pretty.
I love your hair, Mom.
I mean, I'm your mother, and I love you no matter what, so you can tell me whatever.
Or when you said I was trying to be more of like a mermaid-y from the sea thing, you'd be like, yeah, sea, that's what I meant, not swamp.
Yes, I meant to say sea. That's what I was going for.
I just temporarily forgot the word.
The wrong thing came out. But yeah, so as far as being bougie, I have greenish hair, many tattoos, toe rings, which I'm not sure go with anything that I've got going on. And a pretty chill outlook on.
Yeah, just really not too bougie.
To be, you know, I've never, like, sent a plate back at a restaurant.
That makes me nervous.
It makes me so nervous.
I'm really not good at stuff like that. Telling somebody that they're not doing something right kind of thing.
Confrontation.
Yeah, like, that's hard for me. So, like, sending a plate back and, like, firing my real estate agent.
Oh dear. What's going on that front?
Well, real estate market 5, Blake and Jesse 0 is the current score. So
is that her fault or just the circumstances?
It is not the real estate agent's fault that is happening. And I'm afraid that she thinks that that's why I'm mad at her. But there's been times before where I found out that the house was off the market and that they chose another offer before she told me.
Right.
And to me, that is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, why have a realtor if I have to do the research to find out if my offer went through?
Yeah, that's not great.
And so it's happened before. And so this morning, I'm looking on the website. We still haven't heard about this offer, but I'm, like, looking at other houses just to look because we haven't gotten 4 of them already.
Right.
And I just noticed that house wasn't on it. So I went on the lady that was selling it. And yeah, it's like sale pending. Like
it's been going for a while.
Yeah. Like they picked somebody, they signed the papers. Because, like, they're not going to shut it down until they have somebody that's... Because, you know, they could say, oh, we picked you. And they'll be like, oh, we found another house. So, yeah. So I texted her. I was real mad. I was sitting in jury duty. I was just waiting. I wasn't in jury duty. I wasn't doing this during a trial.
Jesse's on a death penalty trial, and she's texting her realtor.
Right.
What was that last evidence?
Well, yeah, and the problem is I probably should have texted her, but, like, in just a rage of fury. We've been just so upset with her. She's just been doing all this really just crazy things. And
well, you don't want to... I mean, you want to be in a situation where, A, you can trust the person.
Right.
And B, you can trust that they will be... I feel like that is a person that you need to be, like, a solid... You don't want somebody flaky handling this stuff.
Right.
You want to be able to, like, have them be accountable and be able to rely on them.
Right. And I mean, I talked to Blake about this, too, today, because I tend to have really high expectations for what people should and shouldn't do, especially in their careers. So, like, at work, I hold people to a really high standard. When people are doing things for me, I always try to think of how I think I would do that job. Which, granted, I'm not trained in real estate, but it's sales.
True.
And so, like, Blake and I have gone back and forth a million times on, like, how we think we would do, like, walkthroughs in a house if we were trying to sell a house to somebody. And so it could be that I have very unrealistic expectations of what a real estate agent should be.
Or maybe you just have, like, a personality difference.
And that could be, too. And that's what I told Blake. I said,
there's probably some super type A real estate agent out there just for you.
Probably. When I told him, I'm like, I kind of wish at the beginning of all this, we could have, like, sat down and been like, what should I expect of you?
Right.
Kind of thing. And,
well, but I mean, this is your guys' first go-round on all this stuff.
Right. So I'm willing, I think, to, like, sit with her. Well, and then, you know, so she called, because I shouldn't have texted. That was rude. That's a bad way to break up with somebody, even a real estate agent. But I didn't have any service, so I didn't have an option, and I was mad. And I haven't called her back yet, but she called and left me a message and was like, well, you know, we can talk about things, and you know, this market's really hard right now, and like pretty much everything she was saying was like, you know, I'm sorry the market's hard, your guys' price range is difficult because there's a lot of people in this price range. I'm like, that's not why I'm mad at you, is that we're not getting houses.
Right.
And then she says, let's look in Paradise. And we have told her
like, no,
10 to 15 times that we don't want to live in Paradise.
That's not an option for us.
So the whole message was really nice until she's like, threw in the Paradise. It's like, that's not...
You're not listening to me.
Which I think she's like trying to convince us because we're going to find what we want in Paradise for cheaper, but I don't want to live in Paradise. So,
well, yeah, we could move to Detroit.
Right.
And find what we want for $500. But I don't want to live in Detroit.
Right.
Like, this is my home. This is where I am choosing to live and have a career and do all these things and have a social life. Right. And then you throw in the mix a 20-minute commute, and guess what? You don't see your friends, and you don't, you know, it's just different. And basically what you would be doing is living 20 miles away and trying to have a life here.
Yes.
It's not like you want Paradise to be your community. That's great for somebody who wants to live in a small town community and shop there and have friends there and go to functions there. But that's not the goal. Right. So I completely understand that, because Adam and I have even talked about, you know, if we're buying a house and like the market and prices, and Chico's expensive.
Yeah. And it's just going up, which is making me nervous because I'm like...
But it can't just keep going up. I mean, that's never going to be...
Well, right now it's
right now up. It is. But I'm saying, like, and I realize you guys are in the market for a house now, but in the long term, it can't just keep going up and up and up.
Yeah. So it's just been... It's been a thing, and I don't know what to do about it at this moment. I'm going to call her when I'm, like, not so, like, heated. So I'll call her tomorrow and...
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, because I feel the same way. Like, I expect a lot out of people, and I do the same thing. I'm like, if I was doing this, or when I was doing this job, or, you know, whatever, I'm like, these are the standards that I held myself to. You should be there. You should be performing at this level. Right. You should be. So.
Yeah, like our when we do walkthroughs and stuff, I always feel like she's like rushing us through.
Well, right.
And I don't like that.
First of all, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to have to live. You want to be able to stand somewhere. And that's part of the thing with like having a realtor, is that, you know, every house that they take you to go see and you don't buy is time that they're quote unquote wasting, you know?
And I also understand that. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a very hard situation.
It's a hard balance. Yeah, I want to be able to stand in a room and be like, I would put my table here and I would put these things, and how would we use this space, and be able to actually think about it. You know, I mean, geez. I mean, you do that for a place you're going to rent, you know? I don't think it's too much to ask of her to let you know. I mean, because isn't she basically, like, doing your offers and everything via email now?
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to shoot you an email and say this house is off the market?
And so that's the other thing. So I texted her and I said, I'm a little disappointed that I have to find out myself that we didn't have an offer accepted. And she said, well, last time I emailed you that you didn't get it, and I felt really bad about that. So I wanted to call you this time.
Okay.
And she said she got it late Sunday. But I'm like, I would still much rather get an email from you.
And have a heads up. So when I go look on the website, I'm not like,
do my own research.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Well, and I mean, honestly, I do think that just like anything in life, you know, this is a person that you're going to have a lot of contact with for a short period of time, but you have to have the right fit.
Yeah.
You don't keep going to a hairdresser that you can't stand as a person. You know, you don't keep going to a dentist that creeps you out.
Right.
Like, you have to find the right fit for you. And some people will love that person.
Right. And that's, my mom, like, took it personally because they used her.
Gotcha.
And so my mom recommended her, you know,
right.
And so I texted her, I'm like, I just fired her. And my mom's like, I'm sorry, I'll never refer you to somebody again. I'm like, this is not a personal jab at you. I'm not saying that she wasn't great for you.
Right. It's just, this isn't working for our personalities and how we want to do things. And honestly, I mean, it's kind of a learning process. And if you go into another relationship with another realtor, you can say, hey, let's have a sit down chat real quick about how we're going to handle these things and what I can expect from you. And because then you're starting clean slate and you know what you're getting.
Correct. Yeah. Ugh. So it's just a matter of if we're going to try to talk to her and work things out or just move on. Because, she has put a lot of time into us. So, and if we were to leave, she would get nothing for that.
But, I mean, that's also part of being a real estate agent. I mean, you take some chance on that with each person.
True. So that's my life right now. I'm just a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Just getting a little flustered.
It's a lot. So how did jury duty go?
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm sure that made your day better.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I've been wanting to get jury duty my whole life. Have you done jury duty before? No, I've been, like, waiting. And how long? Like, it's been 9 years. Mm-hmm. It took them 9 years to send me one.
Right. I know. And then some people get them all the time. I don't understand what the process is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I was the same way. I registered to vote immediately, you know, the day I could. I was, like, all excited, and especially when I was in college and stuff, I was like, I love to go to jury duty, you know?
Yeah.
And, I mean, there have been times in my life where it would have been easy to go versus, you know, when you're working and everything. And then I also, I mean, I think the way they have the pool set up is kind of crazy. They should be going after people who aren't in, like, prime working age probably, but I don't know. I was always, like, waiting to get a summons, and then the first one I got was for a murder trial.
Whoa.
That my father-in-law was the detective on.
Oh.
So that wasn't going to happen.
No.
I basically just had taken the summons to him and said, hey, I don't know, like, how I should handle this. Should I go and then just tell them? And he just, like, took it and he said, I'll go talk to, like, the county registrar or whatever, and I think they put me on, like, a blacklist because I've never gotten one since.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, it's hard to miss work and everything else, but I also feel like I'm an educated person and I'm interested in the legal system.
Yeah.
And I would make a good juror because I'm, you know, somewhat educated about the process. And, you know, I just, but I'm like, I don't know if they're ever going to call me again.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to, like, take a bunch of time off work, but I was like, you know what, if it's, like, a couple days, cool. If they were to say that it was going to be a super long trial, we have that accreditation thing coming up. I can't really be off work that long.
Right.
I don't know if they even take that as an excuse, but I was going to try.
Probably. I mean, they usually try to take into account things like that.
Right. And so,
but then I always think of those poor OJ jurors.
that were there forever.
They were sequestered for, like, 8 months or something insane.
How do you even do that?
I mean, literally.
Oh, those are sharp.
Oh, I warned you.
I know. I got myself.
You got yourself. This one's going to be a little bloody.
No. I think we're good.
So you got called and had to go in today?
Well, so I called on Friday. I was group number 115. And I called on Friday, and group number 117 and up didn't have to come.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, that's me.
Okay. So I had to go. Well, yeah, 117 and greater.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll be there. So I show up, and, I'm sitting there, and then they called groups 100 to 112 to go back.
You're just in that, like, sweet middle spot.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I just sat there in the little room, just waiting. And
please tell me you took something to do.
No, I was late this morning, so I forgot everything that was important to me.
Oh, dear. Because I'm like, I'll go sit in the jury room and wait all day. I got books I want to read. I got stuff I can crochet.
Yeah. I didn't plan ahead, and my phone was dying rapidly.
I'll get in a deep conversation with the person next to me and become best friends.
Oh, yeah, that is totally not me. I'm like, eyes down, don't look at anybody, don't make eye contact. But so I just sat there. 10:30 rolls around, they're like, all right, we're going to have an announcement, everybody come in, right? And the judge came out, not even the bailiff, which I thought was kind of nice. And he's like, thank you guys for coming. You're such an important part of this process, but we found 12 people. Like, thank you. He said this little poem about being a juror. It was sweet.
Oh, that's the cutest thing ever.
He was like the sweetest little guy.
This is over, so you have to, I'm like fairly new to Butte County still. This is in Oroville, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the county seat.
Yes. And he was very sweet. And then he said, at the end, he's like, I know, that like our system isn't perfect and there's things that everybody wishes we could change, like all of us do, but I hope that it's one of the best systems in the world, and it's like, aww, we need you to make it that way. I'm like, well, this was just sweet.
And then in the back of your head, you're just like, you hear God Bless America playing.
Yeah. I know.
You get all the warm fuzzies and you're like, apple pie, fireworks.
Yeah. I just thought it was like kind of a nice touch, like.
That's really nice. Yeah, Adam gets called all the time, and last year or the year before, he ended up having to sit on a trial, and I feel like it was something to do with like a Grand Theft Auto situation or something.
Whoa.
How did you do this? So you made marks.
Yeah, which maybe don't make it with a pen, because you can kind of see mine.
Oh, really?
Just like a tiny bit. You wouldn't like ever notice it unless you were looking really hard, but do you see like a little...
That's under the tape?
Yeah. I put the tape over it.
Oh, wow. It's see-through-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find something to make a mark with.
Yeah, that is light.
Chalk that's supposed to go. I bought this chalk to do our little chalkboard rounds, and it goes in this little pen, and it, like, holds the chalks. They don't work, like, at all. It's lame.
That's a real bummer.
I don't even know if they're going to write on paper. It's like they're dried up or something. I don't know. I'm super disappointed with them.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
So you just made a line to say, like, this is the edge?
Yeah. I mean, I just made sure that my tape went further than that,
Gotcha. So, yeah, Adam got stuck on a trial for, like, some kind of Grand Theft Auto thing. There was all this drama and, like, craziness, as I'm sure all trials are to some extent.
Really, yeah.
And so that was pretty interesting. Of course, he is, like, so serious and so good. So I would just, he'd get home and I'd be like, oh, what happened? And he'd be like, I can't tell you.
Oh, good for him.
He's so good. But I would, like, give him a horrible time and try to, like, get him to tell me stuff just to mess with him.
Yeah.
He like, held firm. And he was like, that is not how it works, and I will not tell you.
Go Adam.
Which was super sweet. So he... afterwards, like, kind of gave me the rundown, because you could talk about it after the trial, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, this lady, like, paid money for a car, but then, like, the guy who sold it didn't really own it, or I don't know. So it's like this whole crazy thing. Hoping that at some point somebody's gonna...
call you?
Yeah. I really, like, I would enjoy being a part of the judicial system. Actually, do you ever watch New Girl?
Yeah.
There was an episode... I don't know if it was last season or the one before, that she got called for jury duty. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm going to be like if I get called for jury duty.
Oh yeah, she's like super stoked.
She's all excited, and like everyone else on the jury is just like freaking annoyed with her. Like, I was like,
she's like quoting laws and stuff. I can totally imagine she would do
this is me.
like that.
This is totally me.
She's great.
I also, when you were there, what was the dress code situation like?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was kind of saying that because my bosses, their favorite thing about the jury, they're like, just look around you and think like these are the people that would be like
judging me.
Yeah, making my life decisions, right?
Right. Because it's supposed to be a jury of your peers, right?
Yeah. And so there really, which, you know, there's some people that are interesting, right?
Yeah.
But the group of people didn't scare me. Like, it wasn't like a bunch of people that I was like, I would never want these people making decisions for me, you know?
Right.
Like, whatever. They were fine. It was, but just the stuff that people decided to come to court wearing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's what I'm like, in my brain, when you go to court, you wear, like, business attire.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I had like I just wore what I would wear to work because I was hoping I was going to go to work anyways.
Right.
Just had like a black dress on and a sweater, like.
But I mean, even if you're wearing leggings and boots and like a, you know, sweater dress or something, you know, that like, I'm like, I don't care that you're not like dressed to the nines. I just care that you like look somewhat professional and put together.
Yeah.
Because that's how I would go.
Yeah.
And
when I get the first day, you don't always start the trial that day.
But you could.
You could.
Because Adam got called again just this last year, and it was a one-day thing, and he went, and they chose the jury, and they did the whole trial, and boom, that was it.
Wow.
So, I mean, you have to go, like, with the preparedness to be ready to serve. I don't know. I was just amazed because he's telling me how everyone there is in, like, sweatpants and holy t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what?
Yeah,
that
you know, like
shocks me.
Yeah, this one girl had, like, her LuLaRoe leggings on and, like...
Well, those are expensive.
Big old t-shirt. And I'm like, I just don't know if, like...
Just because your leggings are expensive doesn't make them dressy.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That disturbs me a little bit. Not that I, like, expect everyone to have, like, expensive clothing or suits and ties.
Yeah, like, you don't have to wear, like, a freaking pantsuit or anything.
Right. But
I mean, look presentable.
Look put together.
I feel like what you would wear to go to, like, an interview.
Yeah. Well,
Which kind of varies depending on the job. But
right. No, I agree. I feel the same way. Or it's like, if you were going to go into a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
If you were going, even just to go, like, I mean, in our church is really casual, but, like, even just to go to church, like, look somewhat presentable. I wear leggings to church all the time, but, you know, just have your stuff together.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Don't wear leggings and a sports bra.
Yeah, she did not look presentable. Well, she had, you know, her little Dutch bros. Just basic.
I love Dutch bros, but...
I mean, I love it too, but it was just the all together, you know?
Yeah, the whole theme. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that does frighten me. And I think that... I mean, obviously, they're calling people from all over the county and all different walks of life and, you know, all those things. So I think that overall, yeah, it's not like I would be super concerned that it was going to be like they were going to make poor decisions for me.
Right.
Although, I mean, this is a whole thing to get into, but I kind of lean toward the idea of having professional juries.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot that could be talked about with that. And, like, why I think that and where that comes from. But when it comes right down to it, you end up with people who may not be able to, like, understand. I mean, our trials have become so technical with all the, like, scientific evidence and everything that you're dealing with people who, like, might not understand what DNA is.
Right.
And then you're asking them to, like, base judgments off of this, like, extremely scientific information.
Yeah, right.
And have you ever watched, like, the OJ trial?
No.
The way that, I mean, in DNA was fairly in its, like, infancy then, but the way that it's explained is, like, so confusing.
Right.
And so just discombobulated that nobody could understand that.
Which they probably do.
Oh, on purpose.
Because they know nobody's
to throw
gonna
people off.
understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not totally opposed to the, like, idea, because while saying having a jury of your peers is a great concept, it's not something that's actually put into practice that often.
Right.
Because how many times are African Americans tried by an all-white jury?
Right.
You know, how many times... I mean, it's just... I don't know. I don't think that in concept or in theory would be great, but I don't think it actually works in practice, and so why not have something that would work better?
Right.
Now I'm spraying my spray. All the fanciness. I'm gonna have to wash this tablecloth. It's like so sticky over there now.
Fun. I love washi tape.
Yeah, like it's been a thing for a while, and I've always been kind of like, who needs washi tape? But
well, and I don't even buy it that much because I'm usually like, why do I need? Like, I'm always look in the aisle. I'm like, oh my gosh, this tape is so cute, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with all this tape?
Now you have an excuse.
Yeah,
you're like, I'm gonna buy all the washi tape.
I use it like in my planner. To like,
oh, that's a good idea.
Put little...
Do I have this in the right spot? My F shape? Should it be lined up with this?
Yeah, I just try to like line it up with this and with this.
I think there-ish. And then if you put a black frame, right?
Yeah.
Black and orange.
Mine's
I love
a white frame, but whatever.
The polka dot, like raised polka dot paper.
I thought that was fun.
Just a little extra texture plus polka dots are my favorite. Eek, this is so cute.
So fun. So easy.
I'm going to take a picture of it right now. I got a Michael's. I mean, I get so much mail from Michael's anyways, since we signed up for the reward situation.
Oh, yeah. They always forget to ask me to put in my number, which is kind of frustrating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like every time I go, they're like, are you a rewards member? And then I get to be like, yes, I am.
Yeah, today they didn't.
Well... Since we've had that, we get all these emails, and today they had an email for, like, $5 make-your-own slime kits. And...
Oh, isn't that what Brad wanted to do?
Did he talk about making slime?
I thought that was one of the videos y'all were watching at Woodstock.
Oh, you're right. He did find some random video, like, on Facebook or something, and it was like, make your own texture something slime. And it was just, like, a regular slime recipe, and then it was like, add phloem or like
phloem.
Well, you remember that stuff that's like got the bumpy like kinetic stuff, and it's got like the little foam balls in it.
Okay.
And it was just like, add that to your slime recipe. I'm like, that's not make your own.
Yeah, that's
texture slime. That's here. Get some slime and get some phloem. Mix.
Right.
So I poo-pooed that idea.
You were like, hell no!
This is not crafty. This is ridiculous. And he's like, well, we could make our own kinetic stuff too. I'm like, yeah. Because I'm going to be like, hi, I need like those really teeny tiny styrofoam balls. Not like for bean bags. Like for phloem.
For phloem.
You know, phloem. So,
I don't want to ruin these sharp scissors.
Yeah, they're fine. I could resharpen them. Or I could buy new ones. They're little paper snips from Stampin' Up. My aunt sells Stampin' Up. That's where I got them. Or maybe when I was a demonstrator, I bought them. But regardless.
I gotta find a new Scentsy person.
I know. My mom's not going to Scentsy anymore.
She's not Scentsy.
I feel like I know other Scentsy people.
I do. That guy that I'm in a weight loss competition with, his wife does it. So I already told him, I'm like, tell Deb to be ready. I'm going to order my Scentsy from her. Because I order so much of it.
She's my new Scentsy gal. Yeah, I did order so much of it, but I'm at the point now, I would like to have some other ones for some other holidays.
Yeah.
Because I like to do my holiday thing. But I have like one that I put out for Halloween. I have one that I put out for Christmas, which are the only holidays that really matter. And then...
Okay.
And then I have one for like every room of the house and like plugins for bathrooms and everything. And I have an entire tub full of scents. So
Oh.
I always feel like I want to order stuff, like I always wanted to order stuff from my mom, but then I'm like, this is ridiculous. I have so much stuff already.
I know. I want the Giants one.
I know, it's so cute.
It's really cute, but it's just a little pricey.
I know. They are really expensive. And I was thinking, oh, the Giants one would be really cute to put in the boys' room. And then I'm thinking, yeah, because that's what you need is freaking melted wax spilled everywhere.
Right.
Have you ever spilled one?
Yeah, my drunk friend was over and we had one on in the bathroom and she went to flip the light on and for some reason hit that.
Well, for some reason, she was drunk. You don't have good hand-eye coordination and stuff.
And oh my goodness, everywhere.
Yeah. I had a shelf fall and it hit my nightstand, which in turn knocked over my Scentsy, and it like went on my bedspread, the wall, the carpet, like absolutely everywhere. And I'm appreciative that it's not burning hot wax.
Yeah.
But
it's still not easy to get out.
It's not fun to clean up. I had to like scrape the walls and the wall was textured. So then you have to like get a like towel and iron over the top of it to get it out and then do that to the carpet. And
Yeah, it's a real pain in the butt.
And they're colored. Do they have to be? They don't need to be colored.
Nope.
Have you thought about that?
But people don't like things that aren't colored.
I would like it better. It wouldn't stain everything if and when you tip it over.
But it would make it harder to clean because you couldn't find it as well.
You wouldn't know where it was, I guess. It would be like where the waxy feeling is.
Right.
Well, I know, and I've known people who have had them like in hallways, and like the plugs in hallways are down low, and I'm just like, oh, this is a poor choice.
This was a poor choice.
This is not going to turn out well for you, I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, oh, she's not selling Scentsy, but I'm like, I don't order Scentsy very often because I don't need to. Every time I go to order one, I'm like, do I need this?
Right.
Because it's crazy. I have so much of it already. So why did we start talking about Scentsy?
I'm not sure.
Who knows? Do we need like a large, I thought about this earlier and I didn't do anything about it. Do we need like a large round thing to trace?
Probably. So I ain't drawing no circle.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine attempting to draw a circle.
I ain't drawing no circle. I don't know why I felt like I needed to say it like that.
I don't know. Maybe just like a really big bowl would work?
Yeah.
I'm going to take this with me while I go find a bowl.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Buttes.
Might as well do it to one end because then you'll have more left over at the other end. Scraps. Are you a scrap keeper?
Not really.
I used to keep scraps of everything. I've gotten way better. I still like to keep scraps, but...
If I had, like, the room for it, I might.
Oh, I don't have the room for it. You've seen that closet. The closet that is a metaphor for my life.
Right.
A bunch of shit's piled up and is about to come cascading over my head.
We really don't want that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I haven't decided if I'm going to put a ball on mine, but I guess I need options on.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking, well, now I'm going to make my SF way too small for this idea. I was thinking, like, so, like, say this is the frame.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to put, like, stitching here, stitching here.
Oh, like it was a huge ball. Well, yours is light color, so that would be cute.
But then what would go in the middle? Not this tiny SF.
So, I have been wearing 2 toe rings on my right foot for 5+ years.
Because she's so bohemian fabulous.
I don't know why. I just one day, like, got this. I was like, I'm gonna wear toe rings now. And it was when my sister-in-law and my brother was in the Marines, and so he was stationed at Camp Pendleton. So I went down to visit them, and so my sister-in-law Amber and I went to the mall, and we bought toe rings. And so she's had hers on for the same amount of time.
How funny.
And actually, now that I think about it, it's been more than 5 years because it was before my niece was born, and she's turned 5 last December. So I've just always had 2 on my right foot, and like recently I decided that I needed to put some on my left foot. So I got new toe rings, and I just put them on yesterday or the day before, and it's like literally like they are constantly on my mind. You like have something new and like you can just feel it all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like I'm constantly just thinking like
get this
about
thing off my foot.
This toe ring. Like, what is this weird feeling on my foot?
Yeah.
Now I literally cannot feel the ones on my other foot. Like if I try to, like, feel them, I can't feel them. They're just, like...
They're there.
I mean, I swear, if I take them off, they're, like, embedded into my skin. You know, like, when you wear a wedding ring for a really long time, you get that, like, indent. Yeah. So...
Or, like, my Fitbit. I got an indent from a Fitbit in my arm. It's a little... it kind of makes me nervous.
That's funny. Well, I will tell you, I wore a wedding ring for 10 years, and my skin popped right back out when I took it off.
Well, good.
So, don't be too concerned about your Fitbit, Mark.
Actually, yeah, when I didn't wear one for a while, it went away.
So, I'm, like, trying to get used to them, and I'm sure eventually they'll just be part of my foot. But when I, like, look down at my toes now, I'm like, I have all this, like, foot jewelry.
Right.
Which is ironic because all I ever usually wear is, like, maybe some earrings. Can't even stand wearing rings most of the time.
You've been wearing rings lately.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I'm very much like, I get home and, like, take my, like, work clothes off and I take my rings off, too. Because I'm just like, ugh, they're squishing my finger, or it's like my fingers swell when I get hot. So I don't know. They're not like comfortable. And that's been ever since I had kids. I started taking them off at night when I was pregnant because my fingers would swell. And then I just never could get in the habit of having them on all the time again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wore one for 5-6 years before I had kids 24/7, and it didn't bother me, you know?
Yeah.
It's probably just a matter of getting used to it, but yeah. So I, like, look down at my toes and I feel like I should have rings on all of my fingers, like multiple rings on all my fingers, like Phoebe does in Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Like, by looking at my toes. Okay. My toenails and my tattoos and my many toe rings. I feel like it doesn't really fit in with the rest of my body.
You know what? I wouldn't put yourself into a box.
I obviously don't.
You do you, girl.
That's right.
That's what I always say.
I just do the thing that I want to do, and I don't worry about it. But I sometimes wonder if people look at me and think that I need to, like, pick something. My brother used to do this, and actually I find myself doing it too. Like, one day I'll, like, wear my cowboy boots and and it's like every day's like dress up day, kind of. Like, I have a theme for my outfit when I get dressed. And so, like, today's 80s day and I'm gonna wear flats and leggings with a skirt and whatever, you know, like, so I kind of will do that. So I understand, but, like, my brother, when he was in high school, he would, like, go into his room looking like a, like, jock, and then he would, like, walk back out of his room looking like a hick. Like, he was so funny.
That is funny.
He would just, like, transform. You'd be like, wait, hold on. You just had, like, baggy tank top and basketball shorts and whatever on, and then, like, 2 minutes later, he's got Wranglers and boots and, you know.
That's pretty funny.
A button-up shirt, you know.
How can you change so drastically?
So quickly. But he's the same way. He just refuses to be put in a box. Don't be put in a box.
Don't. Do whatever you want. Rock it.
I don't know. I think when you're younger, you really get pushed into that idea that, like, it's like the cliques in high school. Like, these are the emo kids. These are the...
And people tend to hang out with people that are like them.
Right. But I'm like, I can like punk music and also like country music.
Yeah.
I don't have to choose one.
Yeah, or like, I mean, I think people, you know, for the most part, look at me and think, you know, I'm kind of like girly girl, especially at work. I always wear skirts and dresses because I don't have time to get ready in the morning. So you wear a dress, you don't have to think about too many things. So you just put one thing on. Sweet. And
that's a good way to look at it.
And then and then sometimes people come in my office, I'm like listening to like metal or something. They're like,
what's happening?
Yeah, people like look at me like, what is this? And I'm like, what? They're like, is this the kind of music you listen to? Like, it's so angry. I'm like, well, I'm kind of an angry human.
I love that you cut out these SF logos and, like, put all this effort into it. And I was like, here, I made a circle.
Well, all jobs are needed, Tab.
I'm the pinky toe, is what you're saying. Cut it off. You can still function, but it's good to have it there.
Just kidding.
I love what you're doing with the seams.
Fun.
That's really great. Did you put your SF in the middle to make sure it fit?
Well, nope. And
now
that I started cutting it, I was thinking like, but I'm going to make something work.
I couldn't have traced it, I guess. It's a square piece of felt. I would have just traced a square. Oh, goodness. I'm like, I want a copy of that because it looks so great. And I know if I attempt to do this, it's going to be...
It's going to be just fine.
Sketchy.
It's going to be just fine.
I was not inspired the way you were. How did you do that?
I don't know. It just kind of made... Yeah, it'll make more sense if the SFs could be like in the middle.
First, you put the felt on here.
And I think, mine are going to be like uneven and stuff.
Well...
And guess how much I care about that?
None. I don't care either, actually.
And that's how I feel. Now y'all know. Did you... Well, okay, this might be a little after you. I don't know. But on the Disney Channel, there's this guy... And it was like supposed to be his sister, I think. And she's the chick that was in the Missy Elliott music videos that like dances really well.
I don't remember those particularly.
Well, but so it was called Mike's Super Short Show. And
I remember hearing that, yeah.
So he would, the kid would go like, now you know, Mike's Super Short Show. And every time I say, now you know, I think of that show. And I always say, want to say, Mike's Super Short Show.
That was just his, like...
Yeah, his sign-off.
That's cute. I'm wondering... I think you've got the best angle going to make them here and here versus, like, down.
You think?
I think so.
I'm just winging it, so...
I'm copying your pattern right now.
You're too funny.
I'm not feeling the creative juices tonight.
That's never good.
I also am feeling this vodka a little bit.
Ooh!
Which is crazy because I haven't even finished this one drink. I mean, I took a few drinks out of that other one. That was a little bit stronger, but lightweight.
Your cheap date.
Mine just looks like a tire tread.
Once it's cut out, it'll be great.
Sure.
Okay, that's cute.
It's really cute. It's ridiculous.
It looks like a baseball.
For sure. It's not like people are looking for detail. Granted,
Nobody's going to come up to me and say, that's not a really proportional and, like, accurate baseball.
Right. And if they do, we'll just punch them right in the face.
I'm going to say, get the fuck out.
Get out of my house. Who the hell are you?
Nobody invited you.
Do I see you interior designing my house? No. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really good.
Cute.
It's going to be way better than...
that flower.
That really ugly flower. So...
Who on you, dollar store?
This time around, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping they'll have some cute stuff for, like, flags or something.
Yeah. 4th of July, my favorite.
Blake's got to be getting so excited about the America coming up.
Well, right now, we're just focusing on Crazy May.
Yeah.
So,
you guys have a lot going on.
A lot. This weekend was Emily's 21st birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Emily is my brother's girlfriend.
How'd that all go?
And, it went well. She, like, had a party for, like, her family, and, like, my family came at their apartment. And that was pretty fun. Like,
that's nice.
Everybody got together. It was kind of cool. I slept through most of it at my house and got there like 3 hours late.
Why?
Because I fell asleep.
And you were just exhausted.
I think I've been feeling like I was going to get sick for like a week. And I'm not getting sick. I've just been exhausted.
Maybe your body is using its energy to fight off whatever it was.
Could be. Oh, which I'm very grateful that I'm not getting sick. But like I just wish I would not feel like I'm getting sick.
Right.
So, yeah, I fell asleep and all of a sudden it was really late and I still had to take a shower. So I felt kind of bad.
Oh.
But I still got there and we were planning on going out with him afterwards anyway. So I'm like, it's not like I'm spending the whole night with her.
Right.
Or it's not like I'm not spending the whole night with her. So, yeah, we went out and we went to the bear first.
I'm taking pictures of your baseball.
Oh, okay. And we weren't there very long. And, like, Emily was a bit drunk. Right? It's her first time out at a bar.
Right.
And she's really kind of like a touchy-feely kind of girl.
Yeah.
So like always hugging on her friends and whatnot. And so her friend Paw was with her, and they were walking back from the bathroom, and Emily was...
P-A-W?
I don't know how to spell it, to be honest. They were walking back from the bathroom, and Emily was like hugging on her and stuff. And my guess is that the bear guy that kind of flagged as like
she's holding her up.
She was holding her up.
Yeah.
Which wasn't happening. So all of a sudden this guy's like, "Are you having a fun birthday party?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you gotta leave." And I'm like, "Is she getting kicked out?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What for?" Because like I've probably been 500 times more drunk at the bear.
Oh, yeah.
And not gotten kicked out.
Blackout drunk, stumbling around. I've watched people puke at the bear and not get kicked out.
Yeah. It was like, I'm like, "Are you kidding? Like, are you kidding?" And he said, "She's stumbling about."
Oh, good
That's
Lord.
what he said to me. I'm like, okay.
Everyone's stumbling about.
Right. And remember, I'm like sober.
You walk in heels.
I'm sober,
Right.
so I'm like, okay, we're not going to argue, we're just going to leave.
Well, right, because there's no point in arguing.
I mean, yeah, what's that going to do? He's still going to kick us out. So, we left and went to another bar, and see, the other thing is, she'll probably get better about this, but even when you're drunk, and you're, like, getting in someplace, you, like, put on your best face.
Right, you just, like, smile, here's my ID, whatever,
Yeah.
You don't talk and be an idiot.
Yeah, and so I guess she barely made it in.
Mm.
I'm like, oh goodness, this is just great. But so yeah, she got kicked out of a bar her first night being 21, which I think she's kind of like excited about. It's kind of a fun story to tell. And
I've never personally been kicked out, but I've like been with people when they got kicked out over sometimes like legit you need to go home, and then sometimes like nothing like that, where it's like, wait, are you kidding me? Like they like misread one little thing, and then they're like, you gotta go. And once they say you gotta go, they will not back down.
Right. And I get, they're trying to protect people. They're trying to, whatever.
Yeah, but how many people I've seen be like so ridiculously overserved, and like how many sketchy things I've seen happen in bars that I'm like, are you really trying to protect people?
Right. Yeah. So it was a bit weird. Apparently, you've met Matt before. He listens to our podcast.
Oh, yeah. We went down to the little brewery.
Wagonipa, yeah.
Yeah.
A little brewery in town.
Hi, Matt. Shout out.
Hey, Matt. And he's been kicked out of the bear on karaoke night.
Oh, wow.
And for clapping too loud.
Oh, God.
They thought he was, like, being rude.
Okay.
I'm like, wow. But also he went to high school with the chick, and he's like, I got a better grade than her once, and I think she's still bitter about it.
Wait, is it the girl bouncer lady?
I don't even think she works there anymore, to be honest. It was a while ago.
I have a feeling I know exactly who he's talking about.
She's got blonde hair.
Yeah. And she always, like, wore the tie and stuff.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
How funny. I know her name, but I'm not going to say it.
That's
I feel like that's rude.
Right. I'm sure she's listening. And also,
Probably.
if she is listening, she knows we're talking about her.
That's also true.
But yeah.
So to the girl that kicked Matt out for clapping too loud.
Whatevs. We don't even care.
We're going to move on.
We're going to move on from that. We're over it. Yeah, you were telling us about your crazy, crazy May. What else is going on?
All right. So yeah, this last weekend was my brother's girlfriend's birthday. Next weekend is, my brother's birthday. They don't fall. Emily's fell on the weekend, but the rest of ours don't. So,
but you're celebrating. So there's a lot.
So it's just like, how many birthdays can we fit into a 4-week span?
Actually, today, the day we're recording, is my sister-in-law Tab's birthday.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Tab, if you're
listening.
Happy birthday! And also my cousin Sarah's birthday. So happy birthday, Sarah, if you're listening.
Happy birthday. That was my favorite Carl's Jr. commercial.
I don't remember that Carl's Jr. commercial.
It was something about, like, don't go to restaurants where they're going to sing you creepy songs, like, come to Carl's Jr. instead.
Oh, okay.
And there was, like, it was just, when you're at a
Yeah.
restaurant and they're singing to you, and they're usually look bored out of their mind, right? But this commercial,
They're not happy.
It was years ago. Well, no, this lady was crazy. So there was like this like bigger lady in the background with like her hands next to her face, and she was going, "Happy, happy birthday, happy, happy birthday."
Well, you know, the reason they sang all those crazy songs is because Happy Birthday was still copyrighted.
Oh,
And it just this last year came off the copyright list.
wow.
So, like, we can sing Happy Birthday on this podcast and we don't have to pay royalties.
You learn something new every day.
I'm not going to, because what I will have to do is pay for the rest of my life for singing on a podcast.
Happy birthday.
I don't think that was the original song. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it a night.
Whoop, whoop.
My drink's almost gone.
And our baseballs are almost done.
That's right. So, till next time.
Follow us on all the follows.
Yeah. Check out our Instagram, Twitter,
We'll be around.
Facebook. If
Right.
you interact with us,
We'll interact back.
we'll interact back. We're not the best at initiating.
But yeah,
We're also going to publish our Patreon page, so go check that out. Literally, you guys, if like $1 a month will help us just covering expenses and being able to invest in new equipment. We have some people who are anxious to be guest spots on our podcast. We need to get a spare mic, all that fun
Right.
stuff. So check out our Patreon page. Plus, you'll get like extra little perks for being a Patreon supporter, which is fun.
woo!
Secret inside stuff.
It's gonna be fab.
So just, yeah, Booze and Glues on patreon.com, or Booze and Glues spelled out. No ampersand.
No ampersand.
On all the social medias. Check us out. Like us. Share us. Maybe we're not your cup of tea, but we might be somebody else's.
Tell us what you want us to craft.
Yeah, give us ideas.
We always need ideas.
recommend wines or drinks.
Yeah, because
Going into summer, I'm not drinking that red wine.
No, dude.
I want to drink beverages.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't mind getting a little fancy. I have a bartender's tool that like has a muddler on it and all kinds of stuff.
This is getting real, folks.
It's for real. Yeah, so I'm going to switch it up this time. I'm going to zag on y'all. Drink up.
We got craft. I can't. I can't.
I think this is seriously my favorite part.
I can't get it. It's never gonna happen.
It's totally. Sometimes we do it perfect.
You can do it.
You want me
Again.
to start it?
Yeah.
Drink up.
You have craft to do. Bye, Felicia.
Bye. Oh, it's so funny. Actually, one of us.
Pwah, pwah, pwah.
What the fuck was that? For real, what is that?
Raindrops, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Cooking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. Bad